So we're here at Reyn Speed Shop, and I'm here with Rey Rivera. Rey's going to take us through, show us some of the really special cars that are here, some of the special projects that are here, and some really special parts. So go ahead and let Rey take it away.
Okay, so introduce Buster, the shop dog. He's always in the way. Our shop is kind of configured this way. We've got a fabrication area back there with its own bay, its own entrance, and all the equipment to do whatever we need to do to fabricate on a car and fix things and build cars. And then here we're working on the Special 8 series, which we're going to be taking to a show. We're getting that ready for the show. This is our general maintenance and service area too. And we have 3 lifts in the shop. We're not a high production shop. We just basically work on stuff here at the shop that's ours. Like this, for instance, the car we're renovating. We don't call them restorations because we mod everything we touch. So this has a 2.2 liter M10 4-cylinder motor, but we repainted the car back to its stock Granada red color. And we think it'll be a nice little build when it's done. And again, you know, we're big BMW enthusiasts, so sports sedans is a big thing for us. Like how we make a 4-door cool and sporty. That's always a big thing for us to do.
So on this, I think the authenticity is the key here. It's not the originality necessarily because of the modifications.
Exactly, right. Like this has a 2.2 liter M10 motor. And then, you know, just looking at the part of the collection here is this Alpina B10 bi-turbo. I mean, you don't get any more sports sedan than that, right? I think when this car came out originally, it was the fastest sedan in the world. And it's still quick, it's still fast, even in today's standards. It's a great, nice little car. And then an earlier version of that is this B9 3.5 naturally aspirated car. This is a 1982, so this is like a first series E28 that Alpina touched and breathed on and did everything to, which is totally cool. And then we've got this other sports sedan, which is our what we call our M diesel project we built a couple years ago with Ivo Christoph in Holland, and he did the big swap for us. And we kind of did the whole design of doing an M-Tech body kit on it and M-Tech interior. So it's like an M535i build. Just kind of going through the shop. I mean, you can see Rusty Slamington over there. That was a sports sedan. Now it's a sedan coupe conversion by Mike Burrows, which is just off the hook. Just some great fabrication there that Mike and Riley did on that. And it's just an art piece that we have here in the shop. And the crazy thing about being an enthusiast in the BMW world is that, you know, bone stock is great too. We've got a 2002 Ti there, which is super rare here in the States to see, especially in Colorado color. All bone stock, never been molested. I think it's got 1 respray on it.
And that's like a, you know, low mileage, like pretty much stock example, but there's still a little bit of mods, right? Those are the period Alpina wheels.
Right, we put the Baranis on there. So it's a cool little car. And then we've got the E21 up on the lift above there. That's a 320 IS, US spec car. But again, you know, we have a problem keeping everything bone stock. We put Euro bumpers on it and some different wheels on it and made it look the way we want it to look. But it still retains the 320 IS front spoiler, which we thought was really cool. And a lot of times those are gone. They get beat up over the years of driving them. And 320 IS are really cool E21s to have, and we have one here.
Those are really underappreciated cars.
Oh, definitely, yeah. They're fun. They're great. It's a cool little car. And that one's that's a Century turbo car. So the dealer, Century BMW, back in the day, they did turbos. And it's on the lift. We can't see the turbo setup, but it's got a Century turbo kit that was put in the car.
In period. So when that car was new, I guess the dealership offered that.
Right, as an upgrade. Right, exactly. And then another Restomod we did here. And you know, we're enthusiasts and we like working with enthusiasts. And Coupe King renovated this car for us and did the whole build. We provided all the parts in the car and everything, and they did some really cool bits for us on that, but they did a cool setup for it. And it was originally a race car, uphill racer in 1969 in Maryland, and I got this from the second owner, and we restored the car, or Coupe King did, and they did a great job on that. Going further in the collection, you'll see a 1800 Tisa there, which BMW only made 200 of those, and only sold to race teams in 1965. This is the DeWitt Tisa. They owned that car for many years, and it raced at the Monterey Historics, I think 15 years ago. And then of course, it's kind of hard to have a BMW M collection without a E30 M3, so we have this one. The collection bought this. This is a second owner car. We got this from the original owner.
Another mostly original car with your own little touch with the BBS
right.
RSs.
Yeah, okay, we had to change the wheels.
I think this is like an Evo 2 front.
Yeah,
front
exactly.
splitter.
That's right. Really interesting. Back here, we've got this is another Alpina Pig Cheek 1600 Ti. that's in the process of a build. PSI will be completing that car at some point because we're going to collaborate on that. An E9 Taiga Coupe that we have a project planned for. What we're going to build after we're done with the 8 Series, which that's going to be probably completed for the show and everything. But this will be the next big build we do. And then in the collection, we have a 320 IS, and I call it an Italian M3. And these are pretty rare here in the States. You don't see too many of these. 320 IS with an S14. So in that year, in 1991, I believe it was Italy, they had an importation tax on cars over 2.0 liter. So BMW built a 2-liter S14, put it in this car and sold it in Italy as an M3, I believe.
And it's not an E30 M3 body.
Right.
It's a standard body, but with that really special motor.
Right, right. And then we've got our Alpina B10 here that we've had for quite some time. This is like one of 44 built, and there's, I don't know, 11 left. I think there's 2 of these in the US right now. And then just projects, like this is an original Alpina B7 turbo chassis that we have that's in process of going through restoration or renovation. You know, it's endless. We could be working on cars forever, but we try to focus on certain builds and doing certain things.
And I mean, as everyone can see, I mean, when you have this many cars like this that need to be upkept, or you're refurbishing them or restoring them, you need to have the parts or the stash to pull from.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what's behind us here.
Yes, exactly. So what happens over the years is, like, as we see parts or things that come up that are available or people are offering for sale, they're going to be something we plan on building at some point. We'll buy those parts. We won't hoard the parts, but we'll get enough to where we think we can complete projects, you know. And over the years, with all the cars we've rebuilt or taken apart, we've got a lot of extra motors and things like that. Sometimes people offer us some of the special motors for sale, like E46, like S54 motors, S38 motors. We'll buy those, you know. At the end of the day, it's kind of like, also when you take cars apart, you end up with more parts than you started with because you had to get new parts as well. So we've got a lot of vintage parts, old parts that are still good, could use some refurbishment and still could be usable. But this is part of the whole process of, you know, renovating and doing things with cars and doing builds. You got to have the stash, especially when you're doing vintage cars and classic cars. And some parts aren't available anymore. So we have to refurbish old parts to make things work and for it to look proper. And again, we're not in restoration per se, but we do build resto mods. You want them to look correct. And to have period correct parts is important. You know, I mean, you can't just make stuff up. So at the end of the day, we've gone through a lot of vehicles over the years, and there's a lot of parts that we probably would never use, but there are a ton of parts in here that we do from time to time. We're working on a car, we go, well, we have one of those in the back, we'll just refurbish it and put it on the car because it's not available anymore. And that's what this is all about.
And how many years did these parts and collection kind of represent, right? How long
I mean,
have you been doing this?
We've been doing this for over 20 years, so it's really been quite a project over time. And it's organized chaos, right? It's, you know, we go through, we mark stuff, we tag them, but at the end of the day, when guys start going through the stash to find things get a little disheveled. But at the end of the day, we know what we have and it's back here.
Yeah, and it looks like it's all labeled with the tags, and these are sectionized. I mean, look at that trim. I mean, the trim alone is all organized, front, side.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's amazing. And I know that you know what you have here because I've asked you for things.
Right. Oh, certainly.
And you've said, I definitely have it.
Right. Yeah, we know what we have.
And let me go grab it. That's cool. Well, thanks, Ray. Thanks for really showing us this. It's really great that we got to share that with everyone. There's a lot of really special cars here, and I'm sure as these projects get completed, like that special 8 Series in the future, and some of this other stuff, we'll be back for more.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Thanks a lot, Ray.
Thanks.